Hey, it's Chris. Big news today on the Trump trials front. So, after about a month, and I hinted at this in an earlier video that the decision could come this week, the Trump immunity case has been ruled on by the DC Appeals Court. And that ruling is this: unanimously rejecting Donald Trump's claim that he has and should have complete immunity from any criminal prosecution because he is a former president of the United States. Now, couple things. One, let's do big picture. This isn't really about Donald Trump. It's about the rule of law. It's about the idea that an ex-president has the same rights that a citizen has, that you can't just do whatever you want because you were once the president of the United States. So to me, this is a victory for accountability, fairness, and the rule of law, ultimately. Now, there's obviously a political context here and a legal context. The legal context. So, this judgment will be appealed by Donald Trump to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has two options. One, they can reject it out of hand. They can say, we're not interested in it, we're not going to hear oral arguments, we're not going to do anything about it. Two, they can add it to their docket, which would mean that a ruling would likely come in the early part of the summer. Now, why am I telling you all this? Because this is the first domino that falls. The domino it runs into is special counsel Jack Smith's case regarding Donald Trump allegedly criminal behavior around the 2020 election and the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Now, that trial, which was supposed to start on March 4th, has been delayed indefinitely by the judge because of this immunity ruling. They were waiting to hear on this immunity ruling before they went ahead with that case. Because obviously, if Donald Trump had been ruled immune from criminal prosecution, you can't criminally prosecute him. Now, Trump has until February 12th, so that's next week, to appeal to the Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court rejects it out of hand, expect that Jack Smith 2020 election trial to start sometime later in the spring. If the Supreme Court decides they want to hear the case, then we would push that timeline back even further, probably into the summer or the fall, which would coincide with the general election, which would be a big cluster, you know what. So, this is a big deal, I think, for two reasons as your takeaways. One, it makes clear that a president cannot do whatever they want in office, Democrat or Republican or independent or whatever, without the possibility of being prosecuted for it. Meaning you can't, as Donald Trump's lawyer said, have SEAL Team 6 assassinate a political opponent and then not be charged for it. Yes, that was a real argument that Donald Trump's lawyer made, or at least was asked about and speculated about. Number two, and this is really important, this changes the timeline for Trump. The next big domino will be the Supreme Court. Do they take it up or do they ignore it, push it off? If they push it off, the 2020 election trial will start sooner rather than later. If they take it up, then we'll have to see how they rule. If they rule that Donald Trump is immune, ultimately, this trial goes away. If they say Donald Trump isn't immune, this Jack Smith trial continues. Yes, I know it is hard to follow all of Trump's trials. I am trying to do everything that I can to keep you guys informed of what's coming, what's here, and what's in the future. Do me a favor. I'm making these videos every day. I need your support. Subscribe, like, pass it on, do whatever you can to support me. Thanks.